Hello and welcome to the special show Fast Tracking India-Austria Ties. I'm Gautam Roy. Almost a week ago, an Indian Prime Minister landed on Austrian soil after a gap of over 4 decades. It was also a year when the two nations have been marking 75 years of diplomatic relations. India-Austria ties go back to the inception of the landlocked Central European nation, where India helped it in its quest for statehood in the aftermath of the Second World War. But now, the goal of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's two-day visit over the 9th and the 10th of this month to Vienna has been to put the growth of India-Austria ties in high gear and also give a collective message of peace in a part of the world convulsed by conflict.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi's two-day Austria visit became historic the moment he set foot in Vienna on the evening of the 9th of July. The last time an Indian PM visited the Central European nation was in 1983. The PM was received at the airport by Austria's Foreign Minister Alexander Schallenberg, reflecting the importance his government attached to its ties with India. The PM's official engagements began the next morning with his Austrian counterpart, Federal Chancellor Karl Nehammer, welcoming him outside his office with a ceremonial reception. Thereafter, the two leaders held delegation-level talks where they not only took stock of the extensive bilateral ties but also agreed to give it new direction to a higher plane.
हमने निर्णय लिया है कि संबंधों को स्ट्रैटेजिक दिशा प्रदान की जाएगी। आने वाले दशक के लिए सहयोग का खाका तैयार किया गया है। यह केवल आर्थिक सहयोग और निवेश तक सीमित नहीं है। इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर विकास, इनोवेशन, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी, हाइड्रोजन, वाटर एंड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, क्वांटम जैसे क्षेत्रों में एक दूसरे के सामर्थ्य को जोड़ने का काम किया जाएगा। दोनों देशों की युवा शक्ति और आइडियाज को कनेक्ट करने के लिए स्टार्टअप ब्रिज को गति दी जाएगी। मोबिलिटी और माइग्रेशन पार्टनरशिप पर पहले से समझौता हुआ है। यह लीगल माइग्रेशन और स्किल्ड वर्कफोर्स की मूवमेंट में सहयोग देगा।
As the PM reached Vienna after spending 2 days in Moscow, the world was also watching how he addresses the conflicts in Ukraine as well as Gaza. Prime Minister Modi put across India's stand unequivocally in favor of peace, even offering to help in the dialogue process.
मैंने और चांसलर नेहमर ने विश्व में चल रहे विवादों, चाहे यूक्रेन में संघर्ष हो या पश्चिम एशिया की स्थिति, सभी पर विस्तार में बात की है। मैंने पहले भी कहा है कि यह युद्ध का समय नहीं है। समस्याओं का समाधान रणभूमि में नहीं हो सकता। कहीं भी हो, मासूम लोगों की जान की हानि स्वीकार्य नहीं है। भारत और ऑस्ट्रिया शांति और स्थिरता की जल्द से जल्द बहाली के लिए डायलॉग और डिप्लोमेसी पर बल देते हैं। इसके लिए हम दोनों मिलकर हर संभव सहयोग देने के लिए तैयार हैं।
The PM also called on Austrian President Alexander Van der Bellen as part of his official engagements at the Hofburg Imperial Palace. The Austrian head of state congratulated Prime Minister Modi on his historic third term in office. They shared thoughts on environmental sustainability and combating global warming, apart from talking about other issues of mutual interest. The PM reiterated the invitation to President Van der Bellen to visit India at his convenience. Bureau Report, DD India.
Now, Prime Minister Modi's Austria visit wasn't confined to engaging with the top government leaders of the host country. For the first time, it also brought top business leaders of the two nations together in the form of a business forum meeting where 40 CEOs of Indian and Austrian companies, including startups, deliberated upon how to further enhance the trade and investment bonds between the two countries. Both the PM and Chancellor Nehammer addressed the business honchos and called for realizing the full potential of the partnership through greater collaboration.
For the first time between India and Austria, 40 top business leaders sat down together to talk about how the business to business and even business to government ties can be further enhanced between the two nations. These CEOs came from diverse sectors including infrastructure, automobile, energy, engineering and even startups. They were jointly addressed by Austria's Chancellor Karl Nehammer and Prime Minister Modi, who noted that trade and investment between the two nations has been rising over the years. The PM called upon the Austrian top honchos to look at the fast unfolding opportunities in India, the world's fastest growing large economy. The PM highlighted how India has made transformative progress in the last 10 years. India would continue on the same path given its strengths. Political stability, policy predictability and reforms-oriented economic agenda favor India. The PM emphasized on the steps taken by the Indian government to improve ease of doing business. He also brought forth India's success in the field of startups and in creating next-generation infra. India's commitment to forge ahead on the green agenda was also emphasized. The PM suggested that the two countries should hold a joint hackathon in the context of India-Austria Startup Bridge. He also highlighted the success of India's digital public infrastructure and measures taken to improve connectivity and logistics. The PM urged Austrian majors to leverage India's strengths for high-quality and cost-effective manufacturing under Make in India. He spoke about India's production-linked incentive scheme as an attractive offering for global manufacturers. PLI scheme meant for makers of semiconductors, medical devices, solar PV cells and much more. He further stressed that India's economic strengths and skills and Austrian tech were natural partners for growth and sustainability. He invited Austrian business to use the investment opportunities in India and be part of India's stellar growth story. After the India-Austria CEOs meeting, India's Foreign Secretary told the media that the exchange between CEOs focused on green development, digital space and renewable energy. The CEOs talked about many opportunities which could be taken forward.
During the meeting with the CEOs, the focus was particularly on green development, the digital space, including the artificial intelligence. Focus was also on the new and emerging technologies, renewable energy, waste management, water management, the startup space, and other areas of infrastructure.
Of late, the trade between India and Austria stood at $2.93 billion in 2023. Indian exports to Austria were $1.52 billion and imports were $1.41 billion. A report says India has received cumulative FDI of 733 million euros till 2023 from Austria. Cumulative FDI from India to Austria stood at 1.159 billion euros in 2023. There were over 200 collaborations between both sides till September 2019. 100 were technical collaborations and 60 were joint ventures. Steel, manufacturing tech, rail, transport and metallurgy dominated the collaborations. The promising recent development are the Startup Bridge and the Migration and Mobility Pact.
All right, let's talk about this further. How are India and Austria ties being taken forward following the visit by Prime Minister Modi? After 41 years, a Prime Minister visited that country. We have Hans-Jörg Hortnagel, Commercial Councillor and Trade Commissioner of the Austrian Embassy in India with us. We also have Ajay Singh, Head of Technology and Innovation of the Austrian Embassy in India in our studio. Welcome to you both. If I could start with you, Hans-Jörg, what can you tell us about the Prime Minister referred to a strategic direction to the ties that are already there between India and Austria. Tell us about what sort of ties already exist and what we may see coming in the future.
You see, between India and Austria, there exists a very strong economic relationship which goes back basically to the time of Indian independence. So in that days, the Indian steel industry, the huge plants in Bokaro, Rourkela, had been built up with the famous Austrian steel making process. So in the following years and decades, we intensified our relations, especially in the last 10 years, as it was mentioned. Every year we have a new export record, new import record. So Austria is basically a very strong technology provider. Austrian companies, we don't have multinational companies in Austria. We are a middle-sized country within the European Union. And typically we have SMEs, small and medium companies. We have like 400 hidden champions. Which have the state-of-the-art technology and belong in their specific technical fields to the 3 or top 5 in the world. So in the last years, Austria was a reliable partner in the automotive supply industry. We are very strong in infrastructure, so railway. We have 10 Austrian companies in the railway infrastructure, very strong. Then maybe, as you know, in India they use the Austrian tunneling method. We have some really high-profile projects done.
The uses Austrian tunneling method.
Yes, yes. Like the Atal tunnel in the Rotterdam Pass was done with Austrian technology. We are strong in traffic management. We did the Smart City project in Varanasi. And as I mentioned before, we are very strong what we call green technology, circular economy. We are doing a project in Agra now. We're doing a project in West Bengal. Then Austria, and the new areas we would like to cover is we are very strong, for example, recycling technologies, as an example, in the cement industry. In Austria, in the cement industry, we are reaching 100% using alternative fuel. Mm-hmm. Alternative fuel means...
And you intend to do this with transfer of technology, or you'll bring everything, all the equipment and set it up here?
No, we have the full set of technology, transforming garbage into fuel for the cement industry, for example. And then there are new areas, for example, cable car projects. As you know, cable car rotary projects. Austria is really the worldwide market leader. We are building it. We have companies planning it, inspection, monitoring. So one project was done is the Girna project, which was a very very tough project. It was done in Gujarat by an Austrian company. So there are new areas we want to work on, and where Austria is really strong.
Okay, wonderful. Tell us about startups and the Startup Bridge, Ajay, because it's a relatively new initiative, and so far I believe delegations have come and gone in both the countries. But what is actually being explored here, apart from a general familiarization of different ecosystem? What kind of partnerships can we look at? Is it also going to become a route for market access in each other's countries for each other's startups?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. And this, as you rightly mentioned, the Startup Bridge is a topic of the discussion at this moment. But we started actually 3 years back. We had already 4 Indian startup delegation participated in our flagship event like SARS 21, Austrian Alpine Conference, and also the flagship event Vienna Up. So we are looking at, we had almost 125 entrepreneurs in Austria from Indian side. We had 5 entrepreneurs from Austrian side to India. We had 5 delegation, but we wanted to structure this. So that is what we see the structural approach of this collaboration is a Startup Bridge. What we are looking at under this Startup Bridge is more collaboration, more technical know-how. Also using Indian startups, technology and collaboration combined with the innovation hubs of Austria. It could be a gateway to European market for the Indian startup. Also same on the similar line for the Austrian startup with a massive Indian market for their technology, innovation and all sorts of the collaboration opportunities. We are looking at the collaboration in terms of mentorship network. We are also looking at capital. We are looking at incubator,
funding, you
accelerator.
mean? Could there be an exploration of setting up different funds for in Austria for Indian startups and Indian funds for Austrian startups? Is that something also that
I think
could be in the pipeline?
this could be one of the possibility.
Or a fund of funds, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe. I would love to do that. But this could be the step 3. But we are at step 1, where we actually established the Startup Bridge.
We're a little impatient here.
maybe you need to call me again for this fund of funds. But I can assure you there are VCs and the angels interested in the Indian startups. We already initiated some conversation from the Austrian side to invest. Also look very deeply to the Indian startup ecosystem. You see, we have 142,000 Indian startups, and they are doing wonders. And Austria really want to tap this opportunity. Same time, Austria is the technologically ingenious opportunities. You know, the technology we are using already in India. So we want to make this collaboration even more sustainable and more bilateral for both the ecosystem.
Well, Godspeed. And Hans-Jörg, in terms of there's trade, of course, there's investment and technology. What about the aspect of mobility and migration? Because that is also something that has happened very recently. How do you expect that will move forward from this point on, when Prime Minister Modi and Chancellor Karl Nehammer have had a chance to talk about it as well, taking it forward?
You see, we see more in the last months the trend that every second day we get a call of the Austrian companies, and they want to use, how you call it, the Indian talent system here. So the Indian talent pool. So Austrian companies want to, apart from manufacturing here, setting up plants here, assembling plants, more and more companies ask us setting up small offices, how you call it, global capability centers, 15, 20 persons in engineering, in drawing, in designing, in software development, and working for the head office in Austria. So this, I think, is the future, and I think, as you said here, India really could be the office of the world, and now the Austrian SMEs are coming. So I want to say migration is not always necessary.
And in terms of trade, right now, of course, there's a slight advantage that India has, because the trade balance is skewed in our favor, but it's not very substantial.
Yeah.
But do you feel, because the leaders also mentioned the India-EU trade pact, saying that it's been going on for 23 years and it should be accelerated, what can Austria do to push the envelope a little harder, faster, so that it works out?
Well, first of all, we see in our figures. We had last year plus export of 8%. We had the first quarter of this year plus 40%, so it's really going on. But as I mentioned before, new areas we would like to offer technology in India is a circular economy. It's road safety, for example, where Austria is a world market leader. So there are a lot of technology areas where Austria is market leader, where we can be a reliable provider to India. And for example, a relatively new area is Bollywood production. So in the last 20 years, we had 100 Bollywood productions in Austria. It's very interesting. It's changing also the topics now, and this is an interesting topic we want to work on also.
And where can India's exports get a booster? Which are the areas that could be there for further export of, say, electronics and all?
Yeah.
From
But
India
this is a very interesting point. I mean, if you analyze the export structure of India to Austria, there was a major change the last 10, 15 years. 15 years ago, it was traditionally textiles, garments. In the meantime, this completely changed. 25% are engineering goods. India is exporting already motorcycles to Austria. India is exporting engineered goods, of course, chemicals, pharmaceuticals. And also new trends, as you mentioned before, is this PLI system, which works out. And last year, we imported iPhones from India, smartphones worth 80 million euros, and the year before was zero. So this also shows the new strength of India, being a major supplier in the global supply chain.
Wonderful. Well, we hope that this entire process gets further accelerated and gets a boost through these engagements that have got a fillip with this visit that Prime Minister Modi's undertaken. He's also extended an invitation to both the Chancellor and the President as well, and I hope that is reciprocated very soon as well. Thanks for joining us to talk about
Thank you.
it
Great
this
to be here.
evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The headline event of Prime Minister Modi's Austria visit was the address he delivered to the 31,000-strong Indian diaspora in Vienna. The Indian community in Austria had been waiting for connecting with the Prime Minister and Indian Prime Minister for nearly 41 years. And Prime Minister Modi not only established a direct rapport with them, but also praised them as India's ambassadors in Europe, who can do a lot for their homeland, which is swiftly striding towards becoming a developed nation by 2047.
Members of the Indian community in Austria gathered at Vienna's landmark Sophiensaal Concert Hall gave Prime Minister Narendra Modi a rousing welcome when he reached amidst them on 10th of July. The PM hailed their contribution to strengthening India-Austria ties and recalled the shared democratic values and pluralistic ethos of the two countries, where the people of India voted for continuity, giving him the mandate for a historic third term.
60 साल के बाद एक सरकार को लगातार तीसरी बार सेवा करने का अवसर भारत में मिला है। हमने तो दुनिया में पोस्ट कोविड एरा में चारों तरफ पॉलिटिकल इंस्टेबिलिटी देखी है। ज्यादातर देशों में सरकारों के लिए सरवाइव करना आसान नहीं रहा। दोबारा चुनकर आना तो एक प्रकार से बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज रहा है। ऐसी स्थिति में भारत की जनता ने मुझ पर, मेरी पार्टी पर, एनडीए पर भरोसा किया।
The PM talked about India's transformative progress over the last 10 years and expressed confidence that it would become the world's third largest economy soon and a developed nation by 2047 in the 100th year of its independence. He talked about how Austria can partner India in its clean and green tech-driven growth while contributing to progress and peace.
हजारों वर्षों से हम दुनिया के साथ नॉलेज और एक्सपर्टाइज शेयर करते रहे हैं। हमने युद्ध नहीं दिए, हम सीना तान करके दुनिया को कह सकते हैं, हिंदुस्तान ने युद्ध नहीं बुद्ध दिए हैं। जब मैं बुद्ध की बात करता हूं तो इसका मतलब है कि भारत ने हमेशा पीस और प्रॉस्पेरिटी ही दी है। इसलिए 21वीं सदी की दुनिया में भी भारत अपनी इस भूमिका को सशक्त करने वाला है। आज जब दुनिया भारत को विश्व बंधु के रूप में देखती है तो ये हमारे लिए गर्व की बात है।
Prime Minister Modi urged the community to continue nurturing their cultural and emotional bonds with the motherland, even as they prosper in their new homeland. Austria is home to about 31,000 Indian diaspora who are mostly professionals and have been punching above their weight in numbers in the Central European nation for decades.
After listening to the Indian Prime Minister speak in such glowing terms about them and the future prospects of India and its ties with Austria, the Indian community in Vienna were besides themselves. Some were simply overwhelmed with emotion and joy, while others even had some suggestions for the PM.
We know for a fact that whatever Modi ji speaks about is a brand in itself, and it's a moment of pride, immense pride, that he came to Austria. People always used to confuse Austria with Australia. We've been living here since 9 years, and we have to always explain that Austria is not equal to Australia. I hope that with Modi ji being here, it is a strong message, and everybody, including all the Indians, would now know that what is Austria, what is it famous for, what is the culture, and the people who have made a living out of here.
I am living in Vienna for the last 16 years. When I came in 2008, there was not too many Indians are here in research and development. But in last 10 years, especially when Modi ji has come and he has expanded the NRI's reach out. And I hope Modi ji will come more frequently here. It will not take another 41 years to come. And we love Modi ji, and we really appreciate his effort for, especially for the NRIs who are living overseas.
मैं यहाँ पिछले 16 साल से रहती हूँ और ये हमारे लिए, मैं बिल्कुल स्पीचलेस हूँ, मेरे पास शब्द नहीं है ये व्यक्त करने के लिए कि हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री यहाँ वियना में आकर हमें संबोधित किया। हम बहुत गौरवान्वित मैं इस समय पे महसूस कर रही हूँ और मेरे लिए ये सिर्फ ना मेरे लिए बल्कि हमारे यहाँ वियना में रहने वाले सभी भारतवासियों के लिए ये एक ऐतिहासिक पल है जो 41 साल के बाद यहाँ पे कोई हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री आए.
I think it's first time that, of course, the Prime Minister also mentioned after so many years, Indian Prime Minister is in Austria. It really signifies our culture and our people here, and it really represents how, especially for young people, they can move to Austria. And I think there was also a policy regarding startups. So I really think that for Indian community especially, it will encourage the young people.
And that's how the hopes and aspirations of India and the Indians in Austria converged during Prime Minister Narendra Modi's maiden Austria visit. But that's all that we've got for you in this special show. But before we go, let's show you how the PM was given a pleasant surprise when he reached his Vienna hotel on the 9th of July with a special Western classical rendition of Vande Mataram by the Vienna University Philharmonic, whose director Vijay Upadhyay is also from India. Thanks for watching.